Hello guys, welcome back to the video. In today's video we're going to be doing what if Europe went into a draft war. If you don't know what a draft war is, I just kind of got this video from Atis Pro. No one's going to go subscribe to Atis Pro. If you're on my channel, you already know Atis Pro. But it's where it's kind of like volleyball. So it's like there's two team captains and they get to choose who's on their team. The more popular and more stronger kids get chosen first, then the least popular and less known kids are chosen next. So I'm gonna show you guys like the strong ones, and then I'll just give the weak ones first. But first off, we're gonna let and the reason why you have England and France being the drafts, because well, um, these two are long-term enemies, obviously not enemies in the modern day, and this war would obviously never happen. But we do actually have, this is just gonna be like the two front ones, and well, you guys gotta deal with it. It's my video, so. But we're gonna have, we're gonna have the UK able to choose their first ally. They're going to choose Germany, surprisingly enough, because Germany is a very strong economical powerhouse, and they're in the middle of Europe, and they're pretty good at invading France. So then France is going to choose, and they're going to choose Italy because actually they probably could let them go to the red team because they have Germany on their side, and Italy has a bad side of switching, but there's no switching in this. So these teams are pretty fair so far, but we're gonna have the UK actually taking Finland, because Finland can probably take out the rest of the Scandinavian countries. But then we're gonna have France. Oh, okay. Well, we're gonna have France taking Poland. I'm not gonna include the Russia because no, that just make one team way too overpowered. But our next country that's going to be joining, I will include Turkey, but the UK is going to be grabbing Turkey, and France is going to be grabbing Greece. Because actually, in real life, I believe that Greece and France have a alliance, so this would probably definitely happen. Like, I can see France and Greece fighting on the same side no matter what. Then we're gonna have the UK grabbing Portugal. Meanwhile, France grabbing Spain. And I'm not gonna include any micronations because they're not really gonna do anything. But then we're gonna have the UK choosing. We're gonna get them to choose Bulgaria to help out Turkey with the invasion of Greece, and well, France is gonna choose Ireland. There's a couple more strong nations, but we're gonna have Ukraine join the blue side. Oh wait, who just got it? Okay, well, Ukraine's gonna get the blue. Well, Belarus is gonna join the red. So that's the two drafts. And well, so far, I do feel like the blue would win this war just because of the positioning. But the Balkans, the Baltics, and the Scandinavian countries have not been decided yet. So I'm just gonna quickly do those up, and then I'll see you guys in a second. So I will talk to you guys when I am done doing this whole draft. Okay, guys, so I just finished it. So what I did end up doing was I made it so Kaliningrad, we're gonna give it back to Germany for this video because I was looking at this map. I'm like, this is not a fair fight. The blue team definitely has the advantage, especially over here in the south, like where like the main area that they're gonna want to defend, because this is gonna be their main powerhouse. So probably all of this area is gonna be where their main power is, and then there's gonna be like another little pocket of power right here, and then so yeah, they have like two main pockets of power, but I guess it's the main pockets of power of the red team is up here with Finland, Estonia, and Sweden. And then we have a little, and then with this pocket can probably take out like the Baltics and start invading into uh, Ukraine and probably a little bit of Poland. And then we can probably take this, throw this right here, but instead of just keeping this, we're also going to connect these two guys. So this is probably one powerhouse, like, so yeah. And then I could also probably connect these guys. And to add to this southern powerhouse down here, we're going to put this probably like that. So this is probably what the powerhouses look like. I know it's confusing, but like the blue team's power is like all connected in one spot. That's practically it. Like it's all in one area, and that's its southern area. A little bit up here where Poland and Ukraine are, but oh my gosh, my computer. But the red team's power is a little bit more spread. I'm gonna leave Luxembourg out of this war. Actually, you know what? Uh, I'm just gonna give it to Belgium because honestly, I'm not doing this. And obviously, we can't have Switzerland joining a war because, well, it's Switzerland. Who would ever make Switzerland join a war? But yeah. So it's yeah. I guess we should just get right into the war because that's what you guys came here to see. So that's what I'm gonna show you guys. So we're gonna start off with obviously up here these two, the two sides declare war, and the first battling happens over here in over on Ireland. Obviously, Ireland is strong enough to hold out their own nowadays against Britain, but not enough to actually push in to Britain. Because, guys, I do believe that Britain is underestimated by a lot of countries. I do believe that the British are still quite a strong country. Sure, they might not be number one anymore, but they are still a strong country and a country not to be messed with. For example, they have their own nukes, and they are going to. I think I heard something about them making more nukes. I don't think it's true though, but yeah. So they are now. The British are actually able to push quite far into Ireland, but not far enough to actually take out the actual Irish. So the Irish forces are still here, but over here in Portugal, we're gonna have Portugal actually doing a little bit of damage to Spain down here in the south. Meanwhile, up here in the north, we're gonna have Spain taking out a little bit of Portugal. So I guess it's looking good for them. Up here in Germany, though, we're gonna have some French troops pouring out of this part of France. They're, oh no, but yeah, they're gonna be coming out of this part of France, and they're gonna be invading over here. And well, Germany's forces are mostly focused on other places, for example here, and so their forces are mainly focused here, trying to connect with this area, and here, just making this area better. And the reason why they're trying to connect up is because this will become one big powerhouse in the middle of Europe, and they will probably be able to take over. But Germany, don't think Germany is not, so Germany is actually able to spend quite a bit of money on their military, and well, with the help of Austria, with Italy not doing much to Austria, because it's just mountains where the border is. Because honestly, you're not really gonna be able to invade Austria from down here. It's all mountains, so like, yeah, you're not invading through there. So they were able to reach there, and also the Romanians, they are going to be focusing their main troops, and same with the Serbs, to connect up with Germany, and they are going to be successful, but just barely. So it's not going to go too great for them, but still they are in Ukraine, and they have pushed through Hungary. Meanwhile, they the first country has fallen, and it is the blue country. It is Montenegro, I believe it is, and they have pushed a little bit into Albania. Meanwhile, Greece is not holding out in the Panhandle as great as they should be, because the thing is, yes, I did include Greece in the powerhouse, but the Baltic powerhouse, the red team Baltic powerhouse, is much stronger. Up here in the north, though, we are going to have Poland able to push into Kaliningrad and Lithuania and Bulgaria, and same with Ukraine is also able to push into Bulgaria, but it's not going to take the countries out. But one country that is just about to fall is going to be Latvia, with them practically push up to just this little area right here. And they're holding out there like the Germans did in World War II, just not as greatly. Um, but our next main battle is going to be over here in Norway. Uh, it. I'm sorry if you guys can't hear me. I get it because I hear my fan as well. But yeah, we're going to have Sweden actually able to push quite far into Norway, especially with Norway not being greatly militarized. Well, not though they are militarized, but not properly prepared for this war. So most of Norway has fallen at this point, but more good news for the blue team. Surprisingly enough, Germany has technically lost quite a fair amount of land up here in the north to Poland and Denmark. So Poland and Denmark are pulling off a pretty good invasion of Germany, because Germany's forces are mostly focused down south, trying to connect with the Balkans at this point and making sure that they stay connected. But with this new connection to the Balkans, Czechia's capital is finally fully sieged and um, pushed practically. Well, they do technically surrender, but since there are still Polish troops in here, they're not out quite yet. And well, the war's going better for them, I guess. But still, Hungary's not doing great in this war. And but some more good news for the blue team is that Italy was finally able to push uh, through the mountains in Austria and take over most of their panhandle and push into Germany up and connect with this French front line. But this drained the Italians, and the Italians are hurting now. But in the Balkans, it's going worse for the blue, with with Croatia starting to fall a little bit more, and also we're going to have uh, Albania falling some more as well, and Greece is also falling a little bit more. Because I know Greece is a stronger country, but I don't feel like Greece would really be able to hold their own against all of them. Because in all reality, yes, they are still getting support from like the rest of the blue countries, but in all reality, if you look at it, they are going to be struggling because like they are not doing the greatest. Over here in Belgium, though, it is going terrible for the blue, with Amsterdam being sieged by the Germans and the Belgians, and also on Belgium and German troops in France. Yes, obviously not as far as they should be, but they are still in France. Some more good news for the red team. Ireland has finally fallen, and a offensive against the Spanish in Portugal went greatly, almost pushed them out of their country, and down here in the south, Portugal started being a little bit more successful and was able to push a little bit more out along the border, and Owain totally just was able to push out here and like that. I guess we I guess we also got to include, okay, so I just realized that I needed to include, uh, what is it called? Oh wait, where'd it go? It's gone. Oh no. It's gone. I guess I don't have to include it anymore. Okay, so back to the video. Um, Germany, not Germany, sorry. Portugal is doing, actually pretty good, pushing even farther into Spain, with Spain actually not doing so great. Um, a couple, uh, French troops, divisions have to be sent down here. Also, a lot of Spanish troops have to be reorganized, and well, they are pushed out of Portugal and pushed into a little bit, like they're just pushed in a little bit up north. So Portugal is doing okay, like they're doing decent, but there is a lot of Spanish troops stationed in this area and some other areas that want to be broken away, not breaking, broken, that want to break away. And with France also having to reposition a lot more troops, they're gonna have this part of it fall, and um, well, let's just say Germany's gonna be able to push back quite hard in their actual territory, and people actually cheer that Germany is doing good in the war. Also, more land up north falls back to the Germans, with a lot of Polish troops going up to Norway to try to save it, to try to save their capital from being captured. But before they could even count to three, it was too late, and the capital was encircled. So it was not great uh, idea, because now a lot of Polish troops are encircled up here, so they are now stuck, and everyone's like, uh-oh, what are we supposed to do? So eventually, the Norwegian capital does fall until it looks about like this, and then a couple Polish troops, like 1,000 Polish troops, get away, but after that, it's really gone. So now, oh no. So now we're gonna have this looking like that. So this looking like that. Yes, I'm making so much sense right now, guys. But finally, Lithuania has fallen, and Norway has also fallen. So now we're gonna have the Scandinavian countries like Finland and Sweden, Estonia, Latvia, and well, I know these the Baltic countries aren't really Scandinavian, but also these the northern countries are going to be more so let eased, and they're no longer going to have to worry about so much. Hold up, I gotta sneeze. Wait. Sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. But so yeah, we're going to have, with a whole bunch of now troops being freed up from that front line, we're gonna have Ukraine being pushed back a little bit, and well, I guess it's not going terribly, because Germany was also able to free up a little bit more land, because this is German land. Remember that this is Germany's land again. And well, finally, Ukraine's front line and the Romanian's front line has collapsed, with the Moldovan government being killed, and completely being, and any official was captured. But a holdout in this area of Ukraine is still there, because there is a major city there, and they are like, we're not gonna fall because we're better. And they're like, why don't you just fall and make your life a lot easier? But they're like, no, we're not going to. So Ukraine still has a holdout here. It's not pretty, but it's something, and it is still morale. Over here in Greece, Turkey does some island hopping and takes out their first big island, and now is threatening a naval. Oh, did I say threatening? I meant they did a naval invasion in this southern Big Island. So it's just not looking good. And well, also, the rest of the panhandle is taken, and they are now starting to creep along the coastal line. But Albania has also fallen practically. There is very little land left of Albania, and very little Albanian troops still fighting. Okay, guys, sorry. Um, just a little bit of background. Yes, I am recording this at 1:08 a.m. Yes. Did my mom just come home? Yes. Am I recording this on my bed? Yes. Am I eating nibs? Yes. So, it's. I'm sorry. But, let's get back to the video. So, also, warning, you guys might hear my dog barking in the background. Ignore her, okay? Great. Um, so, finally, the Netherlands falls, and well, it's just not looking good for the blue team anymore. Until Poland actually sends a lot of invading troops into Belgium, and they now know where all the Polish troops were. They were training, and they were able to take the Belgium capital, and the Belgium front lines just falls. Belgium. I was saying this name wrong, wasn't I? This whole time. It's Bulgaria. No, it's not. It's Belarus. As I said, guys, it is 1 a.m. in the morning. Don't, please be nice. I just realized. So, yeah, um, yeah, okay. But yeah, so we're gonna have the front line finally able to stop about right here, but it's not looking so good anymore for, you guys can't hear that, right? But it's no longer looking good for the red team up here until old troops were technically pulled out of here, this areas, because they couldn't hold that area to do this massive invasion. So the first red team troops do walk in to Poland, but it's very little troops and it's not much. So, yes, is it good that the red team is in Poland? Yes, it is. Does it suck because it's not much? Yes, it does. But this little pocket in Ukraine has fallen, and that is the first major city to fall. So it is pretty major. Eventually, a little fighting does happen a little more. Like the front line just moves up a little bit. Like you guys might not be able to tell, but it is moving frontwards for the red team. Just very little bit, very little. So, don't worry. Alternate history is still coming. I promise you guys, it is still here. But I just wanted to let you guys know. Okay, so our next Albania, there's a lot of troops stationed here in Albania, and the Italians have been flying over here trying to bomb them, kill them, you know. But finally, those troops are doing something. For example, about 1,000 of them get sent to the Albanian front line and kicks Albanian butt, and actually even pushes into Greece. Well, with obviously the main Greece push help, but we don't talk about that. It's all the troops. Just, yeah. But then eventually, once it looks like this, these troops are sent back to Albania, the Albanian capital, and, well, a lot of people in North America and Asia are saying that this is going to be peace talks for the Balkans, and, well, because nothing has really happened up here lately. But finally, Austria and Serbia come out with some news saying that this is what it actually looks like, not what Western media is saying it looks like. For example, Hungary is left in a pocket. Croatia is left with this little area, like this little area right here, and the same with Slovenia, and they are getting closer and closer to pushing in to uh, Italy each day, and this is actually what it looks like. So, yeah, Budapest is right about here, I believe. So it's about to get captured. It's like on its way to being captured, and well, people are saying this is the end of this is going to be the end. Well, it's the end of the blue team because this is like the final year of the war, maybe 2 years, because this war has already been going on for like 2 years now. But finally, a little bit more push happens, and finally, 50,000 troops are now stationed in the capital of Albania, and all 50,000 troops all disappear onto one little ship, and this ship lands. And with out of 50,000 troops, 32,000 troops land, and we're able to take all of this little tip. Wait, hold up, pause. But they were able to take this little piece of land from um, Italy, and that is great because now that this land is taken, it will make Italy worry. Oh no, no, no. Okay, but it will make them worry, and actually, it does work because they do pull a little bit of troops off the front line with France, and well, finally, France is forced to come onto the retreat out of Germany, and Germany even pushes in a little bit. Was that a part of the uh, was that part of France's plan? Yeah, kind of. Why? Because they know that it would work, and they probably had a better chance of pushing back in. So now Germany is going to stop focusing down south on France, and they are going to probably start focusing up here in the north, and that's exactly what's happening. With a lot of British help, the Germans are now able to. The Germans are spending a lot of money on their military, let's just say that. But finally, the two front lines get split up again. They are no longer one, and this is going to majorly hurt the just Poland and Denmark. So finally, um, you're going to have uh, the Germans pushing out this little pocket until these troops getting circled, and the rest of the troops are told to retreat because they do not want um, the same fate happening. So finally, Germany is back, and they are no longer on the retreat. And Denmark, they surrender because they know that if they surrender now, they were going to have a much better chance of living on throughout life instead of continuing to fight and knowing that they won't be able to continue on. So finally, there has been agreed upon little thing between Ukraine and Poland. Nope. Ukraine, Poland is going to pull out all troops from everywhere that they have stationed. So somehow they're gonna have to get troops back from France and Italy, which they won't be able to. They pulled troops out of Czechia, as you just saw. They're going to pull most troops out of Belarus, probably to like there, and they are going to hold Poland like it is a bunker. So all Ukrainian troops will be going over to Poland. All Polish troops will be going back to mainland Poland. So let's see how well this goes out for them, because I've done this before, guys, and as you know, I'm not really nice to those countries. Oh my gosh. Okay, as I said, I'm recording my bed. I had a setup, but my microphone just fell, so I fixed it. But now we're gonna come look over here, and this is the retreat plan. So Ukraine is technically all Ukrainian troops are pulled out of Ukraine, so you can actually so it looks like this now. And well, Belarus is liberated for the most part. As I said before, mostly they will be liberated. Obviously, they're going to keep a little bit, but Poland is still going to be able. So they're obviously the red team hasn't conquered all of this land yet, but they're getting closer. But finally, Hungary falls after a lot of fighting. So that's great for the blue team. And Poland has now technically become a green, I guess you can say. So they're on their own, I guess. They France has technically said, okay, no, if you're gonna do that to us, then we're gonna stop sending you any support. And they were like, what support were we getting before this anyways? And they're like, fair point. So with Poland holding only out here, surprisingly enough, I'm going to be nice to Poland for the first time in my entire YouTube career. And well, Poland is able to hold out. Poland does the impossible, and they become a bunker, a bigger bunker than Switzerland. Finally, the French economy has fallen, and money is no more in France. They have to start printing a lot more to keep their economy stable, and well, the one um like $1 million in France is worth one loaf of bread. So the Germans, they are now able to rush through the front line, and they capture Paris within weeks. Seems like something again, but you know what? We're just not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about World War II. This is not a German video. This is a draft war video. But finally, you have France just about out of this war, and they are like the main person that is holding. So now Italy is going to be technically just so they when they were pulling out of the war, which they're doing right now. The red team Turkey, they're gonna do some they're gonna let the British and the Germans put troops in their country, and then put troops on their boats, and then do some naval invasions and take out as much land as possible. So, and Italy was just about to surrender, so they told their troops to kind of stop fighting to make it a little easier on them. And well, what's gonna happen is, well, before that, Austria and all the other countries, they fight hard. And finally, when the border looks like this, the Italian government is faced with a hard decision. The people want them to continue the war because they don't want to lose all this land, but if they continue this war, then they know they will struggle. So they decide to continue the war some more, but finally, they are on the doorsteps of Rome. So they're like, okay, we got to leave this war. And then there's a coup that happens to stay in the war, and then there's another coup to lead the war, and then they do it successfully, and then there's another coup that happens to stay in the war, and then they finally are able to stay in power for long enough for the Italian people to finally realize that they should surrender. So finally, after a lot of coups, they surrender, but it is not going to be looking good because I can probably see Italy becoming kind of like a northern and southern breakaway areas, and then a middle Italy where they're closer to France or whatever I leave of France. So now with all Italian troops gone, we're gonna have France falling back to all the way back to here. Also, I'm kind of glancing over this because I'm tired and I want to go to bed. But the British, they were able to make a naval invasion, and finally France surrenders, and it is now Spain on left, the only country that is left on the blue, and Greece. Surprisingly, Greece was able to hold out longer, but as soon as France decides to surrender, Greece troops either commit, you know what, or they give up and they abandon. Finally, also guys, the reason why I'm trying to speed this up a little bit is because I am going to be giving you guys a peace treaty. But France, they completely like drop old troops, and they are doing what Greece did. And well, finally, the people that wanted to be free, they are being freed now. And well, a little naval invasion happens. By little, I mean quite large. And by a naval invasion, I mean two. One over here from these islands that the Germans did, and one up here where the British are. And oh, is it quite large? Yes. Is Portugal going to be getting a lot of land from this peace treaty? Oh, yes. And did this naval invasion meet up with Portugal? Yes. So it looks bigger, but it is still met up. And well, it is now declared that the Red Team has won this war, and a lot of people are debating on if they're going to. A lot of people in Poland are going to be deciding if they stay in this war or they leave. But finally, a lot of troops are just told to march to the capital of Spain, and like all a lot of troops do it. From like the German naval invasion, the British naval invasion, the southern Portuguese invasion, and obviously there are a couple pockets. This one is the first one to fall, and then the southern area starts getting pushed in on, and then this is where the Spanish government finally says, "Okay, we're done. We're done." And now everyone is turning their gaze over to Poland. Poland's like, "Okay, Germany, we will give you all of this. Just let us leave." Germany's like, "You know what? Give us this little chunk right here, right here." Like they wanted that as well, and some land right here, and you got yourself a deal. And Poland's like, "You know what? I'll take it." And then Lithuania is given this land right here, and Belarus is given this land. And see, one thing that Ukraine is very upset about is that they were told that they were going to be a part of this new little part of like part of the green, so they won't be treated like a blue loser. Like they'll be treated like a green loser, Poland loser. But sadly, they are not. They are going to be treated like a blue because they surrendered when they were still a part of when they're still a part of the blue. So I'm going to drop the peace treaty, and I will see you guys once I am done. So see you guys in a minute. Okay, guys, I gotta make this fast because my computer is like dead, just about. So, Germany, it is a square now. Also, guys, everything that you see gray, that is demilitarized zone. So, also, there is still the Blue Alliance, which is Greece, France, Spain, and Norway. That is what is left of the Blue Alliance. Well, the blue team, I guess. Um, I guess the UK did actually gain quite a bit of land. From this, they gained all of Ireland, this little piece of France, and down here in Spain as well. Russia did get some land from Ukraine to make up for whatever it's called. I'm blanking, guys, and I'm tired. Uh, everyone is there's a new Italy, which is it's called South Italy, and it is this country right here that I just circled. So that is South Italy. And then Austria was a major player, so they gained quite a bit of land. Also Hungary and what's it called again? I am blanking here. Sorry. Hungary and Croatia decide to align because well, there's nothing else they can really do. Um, Romania gets quite a bit of land. Bulgaria also gets a bit of land, and well, Turkey, they get also a lot of land. They this is all theirs, like all these red islands. These are all their islands. So yeah, it is. This alliance would definitely not be staying. For example, all of the Balkans would leave. Same with probably Actually, no, New Italy would probably stay in this alliance. Slovakia and Austria could see staying. Bulgaria would leave and probably make their own alliance with Russia or something. And then I could see the red team just being left like this. Oh yeah, also Portugal had quite a bit of land. Spain lost like a bit of land. Spain actually lost quite a bit of land. So it's just not good for the blue team. The blue team lost majorly, and well, yeah. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I enjoyed making it for you guys. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Bye.